If you're making a 2D game, like this top-down example I have right here, and there's a lot of sprites that are repeated, like this rock here, it doesn't look very nice, it doesn't look very polished. And the way games usually deal with this is they have multiple sprites for each object, and then a random one gets chosen at the time the game is played. And you can see this in Binding of Isaac with the rocks, and in Stardew Valley with the crops, and in Don't Starve with the trees as well. It's like an easy 2-minute cheat code that you can implement right now, and it's gonna make your game feel way more polished, so let me show you. Let's go do. So to start off, I'm just creating 3 different sprite variations of my rock in Sprite. And once I'm done, I'm gonna go to File and Export Sprite Sheet, which is gonna export all frames of my animation one next to each other, which is gonna help us a whole lot with our randomized sprite. So just import that into Godot and we're ready to create a new scene. We're gonna name it Random Sprite, and we're gonna make it inherit from a sprite node. Okay, so click on it, and then in the inspector, assign the texture. Now we have our 3 rocks. Go down to region, click enabled. Now our 3 rocks are gone, and then we can specify the width of each of our sprite frames. And now you can see the first rock appeared. I'm gonna add 16 pixels to the X, which is gonna move the region to the right by 16 pixels. And that makes the second rock appear. And if I add another 16, then the third rock appears. So we're just gonna move the region by a random multiple of the width of your sprite. And that's how we're gonna get random sprites. Okay, so now let's add the script. First of all, we're gonna get the number of frames we have in our sprite. We're gonna write var frames equals to, we're gonna get the width from the texture, and we're gonna divide it by the x of the size of the region rect. That's the W property I set to 16 earlier, and that corresponds to the width of your sprite. In the ready function, we're gonna get a random index by getting a random integer in the range from 0 to frames minus 1. So in our case, we have 3 frames, so we're gonna get a random integer from 0 to 2. We're gonna get the region rect's position x, and we're gonna set it to our random integer times the region rect size x. So this is the part where we're changing the x property of the region to a random integer times the size of the sprite. And it's really easy, it's really just 4 lines of code. All we have to do now is attach it to the rock scene instead of the sprite we had before. Thank you for watching.